morning YouTube, welcome back. So episode 2 of Oakfield Farm. We're down at the shop, it's day 2, it's 20 past 7, nice and early. You can see the sky's looking good, it's early spring still, so it's still cold, the ground's wet, but today it's time to spend some money. Now what I want to do is, I've been having to think sort of between yesterday and today about what tractors we want. Now we've got the John Deere, as you know, the 7430. That's going to be a great all-round tractor. It's got the front loader, so that's good for us. It could do with a weight, which will sort. It's got enough power to sort of to tow. It's got a good gearbox, so I don't really think we need to get anything that'll power a front loader or anything that you can sort of put narrow tyres on. That'll do all the job. We need something a little bit larger. I'm thinking something about 300 horsepower. That will give us an option then to, if we have a look at seeders, because that's what we also need. We also need a plough. I think the plough I want to get is a subsoiler one. It's a 180 horsepower requirement, so that won't be a problem. Seed drill wise, we'll probably go for possibly the Pronto, which needs 270 horsepower. So with the hills at Oakfield, 300 might be struggling, but we can try it. Have we got any modded ones? None of these are direct. That one's a direct drill, but I feel it's a little bit unrealistic. A 6 metre working width and a 60 horsepower requirement doesn't sound very legit, so I think we'll avoid that one. That one can, but it's only 3 metre wide. That one also can, but it's only 3.6 metres wide. And then we're back to the Pronto, so it looks like it could be the Pronto. With this as well, you can actually deactivate the fertilisation option, which is quite good, because I'd rather spray and spread than actually inject with the seeder. So we could use that. So it might just be the Pronto. Tractor wise, I've had a quick look on Mod Hub. There was nothing that extra that took my fancy. So the 70 series is quite a good option. It's not quite there with the horsepower, but it is an option. We've also got the T7s and the T8s. The T8 might be a little bit too large. The T7 with the modified engine could be okay. But I did say to myself that I wasn't going to use a T7 because I've got one on my private Oakfield Farm playthrough that I just play for fun. So I kind of want to change a little bit. We could go for the Fendt, actually, the 800. It's a little bit older, a little bit cheaper, but I'm not sure what engine. You see 240 is the highest we can get. I think that's going to be a little bit low for us, unless there's any base game tractors that take us fancy. Again, we don't want to be spending too much. They're all quite expensive. So look in the medium category. I don't really want another John Deere. We've got one. That's not powerful enough. Oh, it's a lovely tractor. I mean, the 7700 could work. I'm not sure on the maximum horsepower for that. 280. It's going to be struggling. Yeah, our options are quite limited. This is the nicer T7. There's a little bit more options with this, but I don't think the horsepower. 310. I think we might just be going for the T7. Thinking about it, it's 310 horsepower. It's going to be perfect for us. It's exactly what we want. It's not too pricey. It's under 200,000. What can we get on it? We don't want the weight. We want a front PTO so we can mow, which is there. So we'll mow. Wheel brand. Let's go Michelin. I never go Michelin. Something a little bit different. And we'll do the wide tyres as well. In fact, we're not going Michelin. I don't really like the pattern on it. I like the pattern on the Trelleborgs better. So we'll stick with that. But we'll do them wide. That's just a sticker on the side, which we're not bothered about paying £500 for. Trumpets, extra lights, lights and trumpets. Yeah, let's get them a lot. Got the engine. I think that's everything. Do we want to change the rim colour? Probably not. No, I think New Hollands look good white. It's a little bit finicky, this editing screen. No, we don't want chrome. Definitely not. We're not bothered about the Fiat. Oh, very nice. But yeah, we'll stay standard for that. Design colour, I think, is the front part, so you can have the chrome on the front. The gold looks absolutely awful. Quite like the chrome though, because it gives you the chrome exhaust stack as well. I'm not sure about the grille. Yeah, let's go chrome. Let's jazz it up a little bit. So, right, let's buy that. 171,650, so it's not too bad. It is, that's it now. I don't think we need any more tractors. The two will be okay for now. If we need more further down the line, we'll have to save up some money. But that's the tractor sorted. Now we need, before we do anything, before we do any ploughing or anything, we actually need to spread lime and then plough that in. We need to spread lime on all the fields. It's going to be a really big job. I am going to time lapse and skip most of it. It can be a little bit repetitive, but it is needed to be done. Let me just actually make sure it is. I don't know why them options are off, but they're not anymore. We'll just resave that. So it's just in case. Right, let's have a sip of coffee. Right, so here she is. It's a large tractor. Yeah, I like the chrome. I like the effects on the exhaust. Looks good. Yeah, it does. Happy with that. I think it's a good price as well. So we'll jump in. Oh, very nice. Yeah, this will do us lovely. .32 speed gearbox, 32 mile/hour gearbox as well, which is good. So it matches the John Deere. Right. So what else do we need? We need a fertilizer spreader, and we also need a plough, and that'll be the first. That'll enable us to do the first two jobs without having to come back. So I think the plough can actually go on the front just to transport it. There it is. It's a 6 metre subsoiler. I know it's technically not a plough, but it'll work perfectly for what we need to do. Shall we have it matching with the tractor? I don't think you'll be able to get chrome though. Well, we could do it silver. I think we'll put it by black. Or onyx. Yeah, why not? So that's the subsoiler, and then we need a fertilizer spreader as well. I'm not sure on which one we're going to go for. We need something with a high. It's going to have to be one of these, because we need something that's got a large capacity, because otherwise we're going to be filling one of these every pass of the field. It's going to be a nightmare. So we'll go with one of the bigger ones. Don't know if we need that big, and the spread's no different. So let's go with the K105. We'll put the big extension on so it holds the most. Doesn't look great, but it's fine. Now we probably will need the narrow tyres once we've spread after we've planted, but for now we don't. And then okay, so that we can actually extend to an 18 metre working width, which probably is a good idea. Actually does up the cost a little bit, but it will give us 6 metres of extra width on each pass of the field, which is quite a lot. So we're going to do that. We're going to take the plunge, we're going to buy it. We don't need to buy anything else again for fertilising. That'll cover both the lime spreading and the dry fertiliser. It is big. So let's connect the subsoil up to the front. So we can transport it back. I know it does fold up. So if we just fold that, lovely. I feel like we should probably fill this here. It won't be enough. We'll have to come back with the trailer and get another load, but we might as well fill it while it's here. So we'll need 14,000 litres, wasn't it? I think. So 14,000 litres of lime. The cheapest way to buy it, I think, is like this. So we're going to need 7 of these. Or 6. Let's fill these up. I know it's not probably the recommended way to do it, we're not lifting them with the forks, but it's just for the first filling. Because lime is a very long-winded job. It takes a long time to actually fill the containers in a very short amount of time to empty them, which you'll see when we start doing the first field. I think the first field we'll tackle is field 2, it's the biggest one. And then it's done. I'll probably do one off screen and then we can start the ploughing possibly today, and probably more likely to be tomorrow. As I say, I'm not really eager to rush this series. There's no need. So these are unloading very slowly, but watch how quick it'll unload. It'll definitely be a lot quicker than this. And 400 litres of lime over what we need, but it's fine. It's not expensive product. So we'll shut that, and we're going to head. It's a very big spreader. I'm hoping that the John Deere will actually pull this, or that the T7 will take narrow tyres, because it looks heavy. You know, when we spread in the field with dry fertiliser, which you do after planting once the field's germinated, I'm a bit worried. So the way I'm planning on doing it is, obviously we do need a liquid fertiliser spreader as well for the herbicide and for the last stage. So my plan was to lime now, which will give us the extra 10% bonus. I think it's 10% for lime, and the ploughing as well. I think both contribute to 10%. And then we need to fertilise 3 times. Now usually I'd fertilise once with manure before we planted. Now we can't do that because we're liming, and also we haven't got any manure, and we're not going to have any. So I've not worked out how I'm going to do it yet. I don't know if I'm going to fertilise dry spread twice, and liquid once, because it is cheaper, I think, to use the pellets than the liquid. The only upside really with the liquid is the distance that it spreads. The cover distance is massive. I think they're about 36 metres, so it's double what this can do, which obviously means it's quicker. So there's drawbacks, and there's positives for both ways of doing it. Ideally I wouldn't like to do any of the 2 methods twice. I'd rather have done 3 different methods, but without cows we'd be constantly buying manure. And it's a similar sort of thing as lime. You go through it very fast, and you end up spending more time at the shop buying pallets of manure. So it's probably not the best method for a big farm like this, without its own stock of manure. It'll be fine to do on a smaller sort of playthrough series that we'll do, with only a couple of smaller fields, but on this one I don't think it's advised. So this is our farm entrance. One of our fields on the right here. This one isn't, on the left isn't ours. That's 6, nope. but they are both pastures, so we could put the sheep in there. Actually, I could do a check on the sheep. I forgot I had them. I'm sure they're fine because we only fed and watered them last night. And we could see where the wool gets produced, and how many actual crates it fits before it fills. So that will show us how long we need to leave it until we empty the pallet area. Usually 6, but not always. You can feel it up here. Probably shouldn't have brought the subsider up. We're certainly taking it off before we start spreading, but it is needed up here eventually anyway, so we could just leave it to one side here. This is field 3, that's our field as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to line the grass fields because ideally you'd lime and then plough, but I wasn't planning on re-drilling all the grass. Oh, that's not gone well. That's fallen. You can still pick it up, it's fine. Yeah, I wasn't planning on re-ploughing all the grass fields because they're so large. We don't really need the extra yield. I mean, look at the size of that. And then we've also got 7 as well. If we choose not to use it as a grazing field, we could quite happily mow that. So there's plenty of opportunity. We'll be making hay obviously for the sheep and probably silage just to make a little bit of money. So I've never used the disc on the back like this. I can't imagine it works any differently, but let's try it out. Okay, so it's like a twin. Okay, that works well. Not the biggest spreading width, I'll be honest. The small planters are a lot wider than this. The small spreaders, sorry, are a lot wider than this. This is going to take some time. Okay, perhaps we didn't think this one through. I know that the smaller ones, the modded ones, are probably a little bit more unrealistic with the way that they can spread sort of 20 to 24 metres, which is good for big fields because you can see this is going to take a long time. And you can see how quickly the lime's going down. We've already lost 12% and we've not even got to the bottom of the field yet. So yeah, this may be an off-screen job. I don't enjoy liming very much. It's not one of my favourite jobs, but I can understand the importance. Having limed fields myself in real life, I can understand the importance of doing it. But I'm glad it's only once every 3 years because I wouldn't be wanting to do this every season. Well, every year, every spring or every summer, whenever you plan to do it. Maybe autumn if it was canola. See, it doesn't quite go to the edge. I'm guessing that's the field boundary. Well, there's no problems with the T7 pulling this up the hill. I didn't think there would be up here. It's a big tractor. It's going to be the main sort of groundwork tractor anyway for us, the seed drill, the ploughing. I mean, the John Deere would do the ploughing, but it seems a little bit unnecessary taking all the equipment, all the front loader and stuff off just for ploughing when we've got a perfectly good tractor here that'll do it. We've got enough time. We've still got 7 days of spring. Plenty of time to sow these 2 fields. So not that one. This one in front of us here is that other field. That's field 1. Is it called? Yeah, field 1. That's just that one there. It's a little bit smaller than this one. Still a big field though. I can imagine this one that we're doing right now being the oilseed rape field, because it'll give us a great yield. And the other one, I'm not too sure. It will be a cereal crop, I should imagine, probably wheat for the first one. I do want to experiment a little bit on this playthrough and perhaps do sunflowers or corn. I know it's not really done, corn, in the UK, as an arable crop anyway. But I wouldn't mind having a go if the temperature's right. Obviously we can't do sugarcane or cotton because it's definitely not the right temperature for that. I don't even think actually seasons will let you do it. No, it won't. It definitely won't let you do cotton at all. There's no growing or harvesting parameters for that, and sugarcane as well. So we can do neither. We're not on a South American map or a warm map, so that's understandable. And I probably never will play on one of them sort of maps, to be honest. So I think it's time, just now we've done the border, I think I should go down straight because I probably will put this on a worker at some point. Because I've got other things we can do in. I could be going to collect some more lime because this is not going to last. As you can see, we're halfway through the lime. We're nowhere near halfway through the field. So we do definitely need some more lime. I think I'm going to jump cut this one because it's a very big field and I really don't want to make you have to watch the full thing. Once it's finished this field, I'll join you again and we will possibly start ploughing it just for something different to do because this is not very entertaining to watch. So we'll possibly start ploughing this field, get the headland put in at least. I know again you shouldn't do headlands with ploughing, but it makes it a lot easier on Farming Simulator. The objects and stuff, collisions in the way when you're trying to turn around can be a nightmare if you don't do the headland first. Oh, it's surprisingly straight for me, that. I blame it being on a control pad without a wheel, but I can't drive very straight on this game. I can from in the cab because you can see faint lines running down the field and you can sort of line up a piece on the bonnet, or for example I'm lining up the exclamation mark with a piece on the field and it tends to be quite straight. Out of cab though I find it quite hard. And then you see now I'm over covering and wasting precious lime that we haven't got much of. I'm about to set off to get some more. But no, once it's done, it's done. We probably won't ever be doing it again because I can't see us doing past 3 years on one map. It's a little bit slow paced with going 9 days and I don't know if it would keep people's attention for 3 years. So this is probably the only time we'll be doing liming, so I'm not overly worried. But anyway, I'm going to jump cut. The next time you see me, the field will be completely white. And we will probably be starting on that one or ploughing this one depending on how I feel. Right, so that is the liming done. I've done both fields. I'll just show you quickly. So that should update. There you go. So there is a couple of bits in the middle's missed. I did just run out, so I couldn't go over them. This border seems to be unable to be limed. I'm not sure if we have to plough that with the create field option on to make it work, but it's fine. The majority of it's limed. They both still need ploughing, which we're going to do. I'm going to start that now. I'm going to do the headlands of field 2 and then tomorrow's video will be a time lapse of us finishing the ploughing in field 2 just in the morning. First sort of 5 minutes out of just spending ploughing that field just so we're ready for the drilling, which we haven't bought yet. You see we've got 920,000 still, so it shouldn't be a problem. I don't think money's going to be an issue. I've just had a quick look at the sheep as well and they have started producing wool, so we can see where that spawns. We'll pull up here. It is raining, but I don't think that'll affect ploughing at all. We'll open this gate and we need to decide where to put this. Now I used to put all the groundwork stuff around the back, which I still think I might do around there, but I'm going to go this way because I want to. There's the wool. So yeah, it spawns in the same place. So once that's full we can move that into the drying barn until we can get the best price for it. It's nice that we can use this cut through now. It does make it a lot easier to get around the back. And we can put the fertiliser spreader in here. I think we don't need it just yet. We will need it in a couple of days once we've drilled everything, and also for the grass. But we will need to herbicide before any growing stages just to stop any weeds coming at all. I tend to do that just after planting. It gives it time then to germinate and then we can do the fertilising on the first stage of growing. okay there. It's a bit tight to get out, but it'll be fine. Right, so I need to move that because it's getting wet. I forgot about that actually. So we'll go up and pick up the cultivator now. The plough, sorry. Subsoil that. And we can spend the afternoon just starting. I know this video is going to be quite long again. I did plan to do a time lapse today, but I haven't, so it's fine. Be a bit longer, but tomorrow's video probably won't be quite as long. I know yesterday's video was over 30 minutes, but we were sort of introducing the map and having a look around. So if we just hook up to this, it should be fine even though it's fallen over. There we go. And I am going to do the headlands first. I know it's probably not recommended, but it'll just be so much easier in the long run. Let me just check field creations off because I don't want to accidentally damage the borders. It's off, so that's fine. And you can just lovely plough texture at Oakfield. It's a lot less neat than some of the plough textures on other maps, which does look a little bit unrealistic. Obviously ploughing never creates a neat finish. We are turning all the dirt up, but you can see it's not struggling with ploughing the border, it's just struggling with liming the border. So I'm not 100% sure, it's not the end of the world. This is one of my favourite maps on 17. It wasn't the actual favourite, that's always going to be Sandy Bay I think, but I did have a lot of time for Oakfield. It was great on 17. Similar sort of setup. It was a little bit, the farm was laid out a little bit differently, but I mean, why mess with a working farm? The farm worked really well. I can see why he's kept it the same. It's nice that we've got the grazing now and the pastures on console. However long I actually stay on console for, I'm not sure, because it's becoming harder and harder to sort of resist buying a PC, which will be done. I should have picked that up actually. Just ignore that. Should have turned my phone off actually, but I didn't. But this tractor's not struggling with this at all. I didn't think it would anyway, but looks well with the colour match. It's nice and wide, it won't take so long to plough this field. Once we've done the headland, I will go up and down as straight as I can to simulate how ploughing should be done. I know you shouldn't plough it different directions all the way down the field, but it do, for the farming simulator it does the same job. It'll treat the field as ploughed, it'll give us the extra 10%. I'm going to use a rotation planner as well to make sure that we're getting the maximum yield we can. I know that plays a big part in the seasons, rather than just making sure it's all fertilised, make sure the right crops are in the ground. I think it tends to be you alternate between sort of a cereal and a root crop. That tends to work quite well, rather than just planting continuously the same crop. That does ruin the field quality. So we'll probably put canola in this one, or oilseed rape in this one, wheat in number one, and then next year we'll probably swap that around and put wheat in this field and oilseed rape in the other, just so it keeps the yield as high as possible. So we're powering around this headland, nearly back at the beginning. We're just going to the third side, just got the top bit to do, and then that's one end done. Much quicker than I thought. It's probably a little bit too quick to plough actually, but I can imagine doing this with sort of the 4 or 5 foot plough in the base game would be a nightmare. We would be here for about 4 episodes doing it, or I'd be doing it all off screen. It'd be very tiresome. So I think this is a better way to do it. We're trying to keep everything else sort of somewhat realistic. It's a game. No matter how much you want it to be realistic, it is only a game. And we're almost there. I'm happy with the tractors we've chose though. I think the T7's always been a good tractor. And then you've also got the, what's the other tractor we've got? The John Deere. I wanted to say Fen, I knew it was green. Yeah, we've also got the John Deere 7430, which is a very nice tractor as well. So we can straighten this side off now. Just tidy it up a little bit, make it easy to go up and down. And if we climb back up and do this side again, it'll start giving us a straight edge then. And once we've got the straight edge, we can work off that and it'll be a lot easier. As long as it's somewhat straight, it doesn't matter if we move over a little bit. It'll just make life a lot easier when we get to the longest edge of the field, which I think is in the middle. It'll just mean we can go up and down without moving about too much. And it also looks proper when we're going down and the plough lines are going the right direction rather than going at an angle and the plough texture completely different to the direction of the tractor. It just takes that off a little bit. So if we go, how wide do we need to give this? So that's the edge there. So if we go from here, I know we're going over it a bit, but it should line back up then. I'm still not keen on the chrome grille. I do love the chrome stack grille, so we'll compromise a little bit with the grille. You can't see it often, we're not often looking at the front of the tractor. It's nice to see the chrome exhaust just around the right. See, we've missed little tiny spots, but I don't think in the grand scheme of it it'll matter. I don't know if it's any allowances for that, or if it's just that section won't be as fertile, but for the size it is, it's not worth going back over. And you can actually use this on the front and push it forward, but it makes the tines go the wrong way, which I think is a little bit silly. I suppose it's quite good if you wanted to plough and then get a 6 metre seeder on the back and do it all in one, but we're not rushing like that. We're not that bothered about doing everything in one job. It gives us something to do, something different to do each day as well. If we cultivated and seeded everything before sort of day 4 of spring, we'll have nothing to do until summer, so that's a long 5 days. I don't really want to miss days. I mean, in winter we probably will be skipping quite a lot of that, but spring, summer and autumn there's not really a need to skip, because there's always got to be something to do. We'll do a little bit of wood work as well, a little bit of forestry in this. Do we own any forests? Because I know you do have to own the trees now. You have to own the land that the trees are on, whereas before you could pretty much chop anything down. There is a little bit of, there is a little bit of woodland there. I don't know if we can access it though. I don't know if there's a place to sort of get in that, or if it's completely hedged off. I suppose we could go in on foot, chop it down by a chainsaw and drag it out, but it might not look great going through the hedge. But there are trees next to field 7, so if we go through field 7 and to the other side, we may be able to chop some of them down. So we've got options. It'll only be small scale, you know, we're not going to be getting any, we're not going to get a Scorpion King or any huge logging equipment. It'll just be tractor trailer, a log grab for the front loader, and a chainsaw. And that'll be fine. It'll give us sort of a bit of income. It's a bit quiet. Luckily we haven't got that high running costs, to be honest. There we go. I did say I was going to do the headland and then I'll do the rest as a time lapse tomorrow. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I'm enjoying Oakfield so far. I've not got to clear loads on it. I've been doing more setting up than actual farming at the moment, but that'll change once it's all set up, once all the money's sorted, which I can see it's gone back up, but that's because I've been sorting everything out with the land and the loans and everything. But I will change that and I'll put us back down to 920, which is what we were on. I was just a little bit over 920, but I will sort that out. And so tomorrow's episode I'm going to park here, because tomorrow's time lapse will start here. We'll finish this field at sort of probably 5 or 10 times speed, maybe 10, and 5 might be a little bit 5 might be a little bit slow. We'll do it at times 10 or times 7 maybe. Get through all this, and then at least then we've got one field we can plant. We can't, thinking about it, I've said we're going to plant oilseed, we can't, can we? No, we can't plant oilseed on this geo, so we'll plant oat. I think I actually said that yesterday, but I've just forgotten. We'll plant oat in this field, which we can start planting on day 4, so 2 days time, and then wheat we can plant from now, so we could do wheat first. But anyway, that's everything. Looks good. I'm happy. Do the lights actually work? Oh, they do. Look at that. So the extra lights you do purchase do actually work. Let's do a quick screenshot. Lovely. Right, so that's everything. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in tomorrow's episode.